a sinner, left my lover crying on the dance floor. I'm a sinner, I'm a sinner.
Hey everybody, welcome back to I Wani Hug That Gator! The demo. Though this time, I pass on the mini breakfast burritos. After how bad they messed me up during PE yesterday, I don't want my stomach to endure that torture again. Get some cereal, fucker. Instead, I just go for a few hash browns from the fast food joint by the metro. Yeah, that's gonna help. I idly scroll through my feed, as I usually do, while the metro jostles about to my destination. If you guys hear Kiwi, I'm sorry. He's playing with Jack in the other room. It's been a few days now. The strange scent of extremely cheap detergent and alcohol have become an afterthought. Some of the vines are actually plastic, and the flowers are little air fresheners. That's not actually something I noticed, more so witnessed when a passenger tried eating one. Some of the vines are real, though. For some reason, they go untouched anyways. Maybe they're just not tasty? Vegetarians don't eat grass in their lawns, after all. Guinea pigs do. Right, huh? Anyways. Lights have gone out and someone just dropped a wrecking ball next to me. Must be Mr. Ferris. I like Mr. Ferris. Good morning, Inco. Good morning. Has work been going fine? It has, slowly, but I'm very thorough. I hate the idea of a place of learning not being an ideal place to learn. And I appreciate our talks. Your perspective has really helped me understand the student body more. You're welcome. Hey, have you given any more thought to the fashion thing? I have, although I can't say I really get it. There's plenty to see everywhere if you just look around. Really? Like what? Well, like, look at the girl on the other end of the car there. She's pretty. Kiwi says hi, everybody. It's rather revealing. I don't think that's really for me. I love my wife. Get your wife to wear it. I got an energetic puppy. I just mean as an example. Well, there's an event coming up. I could see about trying something new. What would you recommend? That's a good question. What would be good to use here? In my inner eye, I kept conceptualize the coolest possible Ferris. The fresh machine is going full throttle. First, sunglasses. His eyes may be a little too far apart for that. However, beanie. Moving on. Big guns, fresh jacket. Why the man bun? There we go, the coolest possible Ferris. Mr. Nito? Sorry, was just thinking. Why don't you start with... Cotton refab beanie, Malcolm seasonal CrossFit jacket. Really now? Those all sound rather expensive. Yeah, they are. You know what? Try a gold chain necklace. A what? Yeah, just make sure it's appropriately sized and it doesn't look silly. I'm sure it would go a long way, and they're pretty cheap to get. Well, alright, I'll take your word for it. We should talk about fashion a lot, though. Is that really all everything is about these days? Oh, of course not. What do you want to know about? What's YOLO mean? I've heard the term thrown around recently. That was like 5 years ago. Oh. Aw, tell him. Don't be a dick. Mr. Ferris and I talk more about contemporary urban slang until we arrive at our stop. Art. Mr. Latican had just started talking about our first project for the class. As soon as he said the word, Olivia's hand shot up. Her gray eyes practically sparkled in excitement, and a smile threatened to crush the perpetual frown etched onto her snout, and she can bounce up and down in her wheelchair. It's adorable. The girl practically vibrates in her seat as she waves her arms in the air, trying to get the teacher's attention. Latican's own smile was strained as he and Olivia engaged in a staring contest with one another. I could only marvel as the two argued with each other without a single word. Eventually, Latacan won by turning off the lights and turning on the cheap projector hanging from the ceiling. And playing a safety video about paint that felt far too graphic for a school setting. I don't think I'll be able to eat barbecue for a while. I want to know what that video was. Thoroughly defeated, Olivia crosses her arms and pouts in her seat. And that is why we won't be using any more exotic materials for any projects, Miss Halford. Maybe I should have just skipped breakfast entirely. I still don't see the problem. Once you've had all the proper safety handling courses, in the second semester, you'll be allowed to use oil-based paints. It's oil-based paints. Why do you need a safety? I used to use oil-based paints. I don't get it. Until that time, however, all the assignments will require safer supplies. Now, since we pivoted to this, might as well finish the video. A grumpy gator holds a hand to her throat, mumbling to herself as she grabs a metal flask and drinks from it. The entire display from her was mystifying, at odds with how Ben and Liz described Olivia. In fact, it kind of reminded me of me. I can understand why. After all, Latacan is letting Ben and I use some of his equipment in photography. That thrill of experimentation of a new possibility. No doubt that it brings a creative spark to her eyes. Eyes that fill with pure malice as they glare daggers my way. Bitch. Oh, was I staring? Oops. Before I could offer an apology, she already had her hands on her wheels. She rolls up to Latacan's desk and he leans forward intently. I can't make out anything that's said through the video, but going by the occasional glare back, it's not hard to imagine. Crap, I really didn't mean to offend. Latacan notices I'm watching and motions for me to come forward. Slowly, I shift out of my seat and approach the desk. Alright, is something going on here? Latacan speaks in a hushed tone, just loud enough for me to hear over the makeshift matinee. Olivia's telling me you're making goofy faces at her. No, I said he's been staring at me through class. Huh. It's weird, like he's never seen someone like me. Can't you move him to a different seat? Now hold on a second there, Olivia. Let's not get ahead of ourselves. I'm sure this is just a misunderstanding. I was zoning out and reading, or zoning out and just thinking. Mr. Latacan. She's used to getting her way constantly, isn't she? It's like she's a different person here. She fishes out a canteen of water and brings it to her mouth. You're given a lot of leeway when it comes to seat assignments, but asking for something like this? I just want him to leave me alone. She sips again. What was that about? Well then, Inko, you tell us. What's on your mind? Can't have a disagreement between classmates this early in the year. I'm confused. I didn't know there was any disagreement between us. Well, sometimes it's the little things that you do that you don't even think about that affect people the most. Anything like that come to mind? I shake my head. Olivia's glare doesn't diminish away from my field of view. I mean, I've been a bit curious about her since we sit next to each other and I'm friends with some of her friends. We all sat together at lunch yesterday. Latacan nods to himself thoughtfully. Sounds like he just wants to hang out, Olivia. Her face scrunches to mere thought. Not really interested. He's distracting me from classwork. I want to watch the video without being gawked at. Sorry, I didn't mean it. Does that resolve the issue for you, Olivia? No, I don't want somebody in this class. She goes to take another sip, but ends up turning the canteen upside down. All out. Olivia, you can go fill that up if you want. You won't be missing anything. The video's nothing you don't already know, I'm sure. Olivia eyes me suspiciously and slowly moves out the door towards the nearest water fountain. Latacan sighs. All right. He leans back in his chair with his arms resting behind his head. Inko, I told you yesterday, and if the air needs to be cleared, do it yourself.
Now she's in a mood because you were staring at her like a weirdo. And here I thought you two would get along. She even gave you that sketch she made of you. Truthfully, I'm impressed, but here we are. What's wrong, big guy?
Again, I'm sorry. It's been a pretty busy few days. Yeah, I've gotten into a cool friend group. We're all gonna sit together at lunch. Olivia's there too. She didn't say much, but I got her a soda. Don't know why she's so upset with me.
It's nothing personal, Inko.
It's not?
She's reticent, especially when it comes to change. If you're at her lunch period too, I can see why she'd be wary of you.
If you don't mind me asking, Mr. Latican,
Yes?
why is she so open with you?
How do you mean?
Just now she spoke more in that conversation than all the other times I've seen her yesterday. I saw the canteen and I figured that it was something to do with her voice, but it's surprising.
Her water bottle's the other way around. It's unfortunate, but she's really rarely talks at all. And I guess she just really trusts me. I've known her since she was a freshman. She seemed to gravitate towards art and how I taught it, and soon enough I took her under my wing.
But she lives with Damien, right? He's at the lunch table and she barely talks to him.
Poor kid. Hope he's doing all right.
He seems to be alright. But yeah, she's distant to everyone else. So much so I keep hearing weird things about her. Latican leans forward in his chair, suddenly attentive.
Is this about you gossiping with Ben yesterday?
A bit. He showed up to the table and said something about her being the same after she left. Probably some drama there, but I don't want to pry. He nods. But also, Liz told me some weird things too. He stops nodding.
I know her. Is something wrong?
No. She just said I shouldn't get invested in being her friend. Everyone's being real weird about it, so I was curious for myself. Guess that's why I was looking at her weird. Sorry. Latican rubs his temples.
Ay. It's worse than I thought.
What is it?
I'll put it this way. You've met 3 people that know Olivia other than me. Of the 3, only one thinks highly of her, and the other 2 start unloading drama on anyone willing to listen. In this case, you. No wonder you're confused.
I hadn't thought about it like that.
I don't blame you. You shouldn't be involved in anything stupid. High schoolers, you know?
I guess so. Latican inhales, collecting his thoughts.
Important question then. Do you really want to be Olivia's friend?
Huh? I mean, I guess. Judging eyebrow is raised my way.
Are you really, or just curious about her?
He seems pretty serious about this. Yes, then. Olivia returns to class and rolls right up to the desk. Back. Have you changed his desk yet? Latican nudges his head towards me expectantly, prodding me on. I'm sorry I distracted you during class, Olivia. Huh? She looks at Latican and gets a similar nod. Sure. I mean, you're welcome. I mean, thanks. Shit. But, no, really. I don't want to be distracted.
Come on now, Olivia. The least you could do is give him another chance. You never know.
I don't really want to know. I get he's, like, friends with Damien, but I don't really want to, you know. Not in this class. But I'd like to be your friend. She stops and raises an eyebrow. Lots of those going around recently. Like she was expecting this response. She looks at Latican for help.
Actually, Olivia, I also think he'd make a good friend for you.
What? His words were like a battering ram.
I'm simply saying to give Inko here a chance.
I could almost see the imaginary bulwark she hid behind slowly crumbling from what Latican was saying.
You're both quite similar at heart, though you may have different methods. Perhaps you'll find some compromise behind cynicism and naivety if you work together.
Finally, the last fragment of her imaginary fortress collapses. Olivia can only look at the art teacher with timid confusion painted across her features. Oh, well. I don't... Are you for real, Mr. Latican?
I am. He's actually in another class of mine. I've seen him. He's passionate about his camera like you are with a brush. And I do expect great things from him.
Okay. Sorry, I really thought, Oh. Oops, she accidentally bit her tongue. Her mouth is clamped shut.
It's just my opinion. Can you make your own choice? You can make your own choices, Olivia.
She nods furiously.
Oops, the movie's about to end. You two should head back to your seats. We good here?
Olivia side-eyes me again and nods once more.
All right.
He motions for us to skedaddle. Olivia backs away from her spot. Thanks, Mr. Latacan.
For what? I just gave an opinion.
So did Kiwi.
I'm serious. It's up to you two if you want to be friends. Don't screw it up.
He waves me off again, then gets up to flip the lights. I get back to my... I love that they just lower it. That is so cute. I get back to my seat and stare absent-mindedly at the projected screen as I digest Latacan's words. He said he only gave his opinion, but it seems like he also gave me an opportunity to take the right steps to connect with Olivia. And with what he said of her being passionate with the brush, it's gotten me even more curious about her artistic prowess. Speaking of whom, I notice she occasionally gives me a side eye. I don't think she can see my eyes due to the dim lighting combined with my shades. She stares at me with sense of strange curiosity, almost as if she's trying to get a read on me from my face alone. But from what I can tell by her facial cues, she seems confused and almost shaken up. It's like she wants to say something, but keeps on backing away at the last second. Guess her mind is also jostled around the Latacan words. Lights! Our teacher flicks the light switch and I feel my retina burn from the bright lamp lights, even with my sunglasses.
Alright, normally, in your first week, we'd be doing something simple, like a color swatch wheel. However, I think you can all manage something a bit more advanced.
The Gator Girl's head whips around at the word advanced. Whatever Olivia was thinking before regarding me seems to be forgotten as she focuses almost entirely on the teacher. Mr. Latacan holds up a stack of papers for us to see.
First things first, I'd like you all to fill out these topic sheets so that I know you understand how to safely handle oil-based paints. Last thing we need is another burnt-down classroom.
What the fuck? I have so many questions. The way Latacan says those words makes me imagine some pretty horrible outcomes.
Once you finish your sheets, bring them to me so I can view them.
I just noticed, I don't know if it's because she's not supposed to be the character talking, but, she has a little bit of a blur to her. I don't know if it's the quality of the picture, because again, this is still work in progress, or because she's not the one talking, because I know some games do that.
I'll be giving you a permission sheet after I know that you won't set yourselves on fire or poison yourselves.
What the fuck happened? The Allosaurus guy in front of me hands back the stack, and I take a page from it before handing the rest to the Diplo girl behind me. My eyes scan over the sheet. What grade of mask do snouts longer than 3 inches require? And a realization hits me. I didn't see the first half of that video. My eyes scan over the page and I groan when I see questions I have no answers for. All of them pertaining to dinosaur anatomy. The art teacher looks directly at me and then to the side. I try to decipher his meaning following his eyes. Oh. I turn my sheet and lean closer to Olivia. Hey, what? What now? What? What is it? I'm not gonna let you draw me. What the hell? Looking at her paper, I see that she's already answered the questions I couldn't. I show her my own page, tapping the upper section that was blank. Olivia groans and looks at Latacan pleadingly. All she gets for her troubles is a thumbs up. Fine. Here. She holds out her sheet for me. Wait, isn't this cheating? The art teacher wouldn't... When did he get to his desk? Why does he have a sleeping mask? I like the art teacher. If I look over the answers, I still learn the safety procedures. So what's the difference in the end? That must be his way of thinking. Either that or he doesn't care. I'm gonna go with he doesn't give a fuck. I copy the words from Olivia's sheet, doing my best to at least rephrase them. Some of my classmates are already walking up to Latican's desk. He's barely reading the pages, not even taking the sleeping mask off.
A, fuck you, F, A, B, A, C, A. You forgot to give me an apple yesterday. F. D. I'll give you a D.
Thanks, Olivia. Whatever. A lot of people that like that voice. Hopefully you guys are enjoying the voice I picked. Olivia finishes her page in a few seconds and wheels herself to the desk. The last answer I'm fairly confident on. Like what flashpoint means. I get up and go to Latican's desk and set my safety assignment down.
Good. Here's your permission slip to use hazardous paints.
No, seriously, what the fuck happened? There is some story there from these anons that I need to learn. He didn't even bother to look over my worksheet. He lifts the eye mask from his face and looks at me with one eye.
What? Most of the stuff doesn't apply to you, Inko. Just don't drink the paint or get it in your eyes and you'll be okay.
Who the fuck is stupid enough to fucking drink oil paste? There are stupid people out there, never mind. I'm not going to admit this, but there might have been a time one day when I was painting and I put my cup of my drink next to the cleaning brush cup and took a little sip and regretted my life choices that day. So yeah, it can happen. I really haven't told many stories from when I did art. Yes, Mr. Latican.
Attaboy, now go back to your desk and wait for class to end. Tomorrow I'll be starting you on something simple, like painting a cube or a ball. Yeah, model dodgeball painting.
The eye mask drops down and I return to my seat. Fuck you. The class clock reads 5 minutes until lunch. Olivia's back to leering at me. I consider what I should do or say of some sort of icebreaker. Mr. Latican said we're similar, and I can see somewhat what he means. But I'm a photographer and she's a painter. So a cubist and a dotist walk into a Oh god, no.
Have a good lunch now.
The moment the bell rings, Olivia shoves most of her things into her backpack, not caring if her notebook gets crushed. When I was a painter, when I used to do art, I was dating a photographer. Too bad it just didn't last. Once she zips up, I had a love for cameras before that, but he showed me a lot of tricks. Once she zips up, she races out of the classroom. Guess she didn't want to get caught in the chaos of the lunchroom stampede. She can just run him over, it's fine. I managed to avoid getting stuck in the frenzy by shuffling along the wall long way around the lunchroom. It's a bit longer, but at least there's less risk of getting used as an improvised meat club. Hey, why don't I just go in through the courtyard? It's right there next to the table. Damn it. Next time. Hey, is there a palm tree or something by the table now? Never seen one with a trunk that's green. I get around the last of the crowd and approach the table. I love that transition. Again, this is just a demo, but they are doing an absolutely fantastic job. If you haven't played it, guys, I did their other game, Snoot. They have a third game out. I think it's a much shorter one that people have begged me to try called Axel? Something. I have it. I grabbed it. You can, again, get this demo on Steam or Itch.io. And please support these guys. They do amazing work, and they're being very ambitious with their animations and stuff. I'm going to try to pressure them to come on the stream when this game comes out. I'm sorry, AVG Anon. Please don't hate me. Damien's here, chowing down on the sandwich stacked with various meats. And like yesterday, Olivia's already at the table. Hey, Damien, you seen Liz? Thought she was joining us for lunch. Without a word, Damien points to the palm tree next to us. Aw, crap, that's not a tree. I look up to see Liz's head in the rafters, prodding at the vines on the ceiling. The ceiling was a lot lower in the computer lab, so I couldn't tell as easily, but that neck is long! Anyway. Hey Liz! Oh, what voice did I give her? I don't remember. Oh, should I give her that voice? Yeah. Hey Inko! Couldn't see you from up here till I heard you. I guess I'll go ahead and get my food from the vending machine again. You're the new Trish. Making my way over to the vending machine, I do the same song and dance I did last time. A card swipe a few button presses later earned me a couple cans of soda, 2 bags of chips, and a few candy bars. It's like when the teachers ask you if you brought enough candy for everyone, only now it's true. I head back to my table and the bundle of food stuff in my makeshift pouch and distribute them. So people have asked why I keep a lot of and do I keep all of my mess ups in videos? I do take out a whole mess of them because I don't think I've noticed this. I have a slight stuttering problem, and the ADHD makes it so my brain is reading stuff much faster than I can say, which is why you see me stumble so much. And I do cut out a lot, but I try to leave in the ones I think you guys would find funny. But I also have a shit sense of humor since I'm female, so who the fuck knows anymore? Olivia gets her share, but she doesn't say anything. Oh, sweet. Oh, that's not the voice you got. Aw, why thank you, Inko. Damien, if you'd be so kind. Already on it, dude. Damien cracks open a can of soda just as Liz lowers her head next to him. She's wearing a novelty soda cap. Oh, that's adorable. I love that. Oh, sunburst. Does that say snoot-kissed? Not sunburst, sun-kissed. Yeah, it's snoot-kissed. He then speed swaps the old can with the new one, almost like he's swapping wheels on a Formula 1 racer. Thank you. No problemo. Liz's head cranes back up to the top of the ceiling to continue eating the foliage. Hey, Nico, how's your day so far? It's been pretty decent, I'd say. I'm mostly looking forward to photography since Ben is gonna show me a good spot. Cool. Damien just nods as he continues to munch on his sandwich. I think he zoned out about halfway through my sentence. Oh, that reminds me. Did you enter the contest yet? I did. In fact, Liz helped me out and I submitted my photos. Awesome. Can always rely on Liz to help you out. Flattery will get you nowhere, Damien. Just saying the honest truth. Oh, I want them together. Liz entered the contest too, right? Everyone must be trying to win the cash prize. The money is okay. Liz comes down again with a mouthful of leaves. Her hands hold up a tray with each segment filled with different sauces. But the real prize is having your submission featured on the sponsor's magazine cover in the featured article. How is she still articulate? Do you have any idea how great that looks on a resume? Oh yeah, I picked the right voice. Heck, I can probably get a scholarship with that alone. Whoa, you really got all this planned out. What'd you submit? She takes a moment to swallow her salad and then shares with a huge grin. I submitted my best digital art piece. It's called AI number 47. Ooh, what is it? Here. A tray is set aside as she can bring out her phone to show Damien and me the entry. Again, as much as I do like playing with this is why I point out I love playing with AI art because I don't like, packing my artist full of stuff, but look at how pretty this game is. Like there's always something with having an actual artist or a group of artists working on your stuff. It has a unique look compared to AI. I'm not saying AI is bad for AI bros out there, but I like using both. You can have fun with both. And people who are against AI, I do know people who are insanely against AI, and they're fine with it if you're just playing with it and having fun. I actually had some artists get really mad at me and DM me because I used some of them on thumbnails and stuff and threaten me saying I'm trying to replace my artist. I would never replace my artist. They're all fantastic people and I love them. I just can't, it's holiday season. Like hell, I'm going to make them work on commissions while they're already crazy busy with more unless they have free time. That would just be terrible to bug them about that. I do have some special Christmas stuff for you guys coming out soon. but like, I like playing with AI. I like streaming my playing with AI because sometimes we make fucking nightmare fuel. What was I saying? It looks to be a village townhouse piece, very rustic and classy. It looks pretty good. I wish they'd actually, you know what? You guys should show it. If you guys have like the art for it. Well, they might. They might. This is just a demo. Yo, that's so cool. That looks so realistic.
Thanks. Took me about a week to really blend some of the more fanciful elements into each other. It's based off my grandfather's home from the old country.
This is oh, right. She had the accent. Okay, I know how to do this. This is amazing. You can't even tell this whole thing is digital art at all. Damien grabs a hold of Liz's phone and turns towards Olivia. Hey, Olivia. She jumps up, having suddenly made relevant to the conversation, and she was just spectating. What? I'm not giving these chips back. They're mine. Huh? I was just going to show you Liz's entry. Olivia narrows her eyes and leans over to see the image on Liz's phone. She then looks up and gives Damien a quick nod before returning to eating her chips. Oh, I wonder if they will show it. Damien's smile falters a little at her minimal response, though he's back to his usual grin as Liz takes back her phone. Wow, Liz, I didn't know you were so into digital painting. That looks great. Do you plan on being an artist after graduating?
Oh, thanks. Well, no, I wasn't planning on being an artist per se. The plan is to be an antiques dealer, specifically with art.
Oh, I love that. Wait. Did Olivia just get a little closer? What's that mean? It means she buys a splattered canvas everyone else just uses for money laundering.
No. It'll be the real deal stuff. There's a real market out there for it. So I'm taking the AP business class and using the school's prestigious art program. That's actually why I picked this place out. There's a real elite selection of graduates from here. The list of successful alumni here is nothing to sneeze at.
I bet Olivia's gonna be in that list someday. All eyes are back on Olivia. She doesn't like attention. Damien leans forward even as though he didn't just put the spotlight on her. Her eyes flicker between each of us and her mouth starts to open. Even Liz and I are leaning closer now. Only to be disappointed as she shoves her muzzle into the bag of chips completely, tilting the bag upwards and crunching noisily on the last remnants left inside. Damien sighs and Liz just turns her head back to him.
Maybe, who knows?
Oh, you're the school's treasurer too, right?
Sure am. Doing everything to make sure I'm ready for the real deal. I do love painting though. It's just not ends to a mean. Maybe that's why I want to get into trading. I can get the right people, the right art they need.
That's very thoughtful, huh? I should start thinking of my future more. What about you, Damien? Don't really have a big goal set. Only reason I'm going here is because it's the closest school to our home.
Damien, you know I keep telling you about planning ahead.
I know, but I like keeping my options open. So what are you doing in school? I just picked up any classes that seemed interesting to me. That's not bad. Though I gotta say, home economics class is pretty fun. I get to make food in class and eat it too. You could become a chef.
From learning skills in a class like that, you'd be a perfect husband.
Yeah. Wait, what? Oh, come on. You gotta put them together. They're fucking adorable. I love it.
What?
Oh, they like each other. She likes him. She does. Oh, yay! Yay! Damien and Liz. Come on, guys, in the comment section. Damien and Liz.
But get back to my point of the art contest. If I win and get that interview, it means insane advantage.
I'll say. By the way, Olivia, did you submit something to the art contest? Oh. She looks away, slightly deflated. No.
Really? Oh crap, I might have a chance then.
Hey Liz, that sounds a certain way.
Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to make it like that.
Olivia rolls her eyes and merely goes back to munching on her chips. Mr. Latican said you were really into painting. And I really liked the portrait you made of me. Whoa, she what? Her suspicious leer is now replaced with a murderous glare. She's an introvert. But yep, lunch is the perfect time to eat my foot. I haven't actually seen any of her real work, only something she'd done out of boredom. Olivia's eyes close and she inhales deeply, the air of neutrality returning to her once she reopens them. She looks me up and down again as though something will be different this time. Can't. What's that mean? Besides, even if I could, they're going to be looking for the best artist here, so you got to show that to them with how good your art is. I just don't want them to look at me and feel like they have to give me an award out of pity. Oh, Jesus! Damien's face is frozen mid-bite, his sandwich losing its meat integrity by the second as his eyes flick between Olivia and I. I can practically hear the blaring alarm in his head as his brain catches fire trying to connect the dots. I want to be judged for my art and not. Olivia struggles to formulate the next few words and lets out a weary sigh. It would just feel undeserved. It's easy to understand what she means. Has that ever happened before? Do people really do that? You weren't there for it. Some losers used to even tell me to take advantage of it. Why not? That was a bad move! Why would you stay? Oh, you dumb fuck! Dude, seriously? Why? So I constantly get reminded of myself? So I can't separate myself from my work? So I can get complacent, even being worse, so I can eventually rely on it? So the playing field can be even? That's a lot at once. I'm not even sure I got all that, but I definitely touched a nerve I shouldn't have. No, sorry. Olivia brushes her hair down. Look, I don't want to get awards and praise I haven't earned. I'm seriously not that good, and I really wouldn't win. She sighs and takes a long sip of cola. Can I see some of your work? She nearly spits the soda out, glares at me again before the innocence of the question settles in. No. Man, she really shouldn't put herself down like that. We're at school to learn after all. There's no reason to be so down on ourselves. She's a fucking teenager. I get it. A lot of the students here are crazy good at art. Some are probably better now than I will ever be, and they're just starting. It's pretty scary to think about. I mean, like that landscape of the city near the principal's office. Landscape? Hold on, I took a photo of it. It's a bit tough getting my camera out now with all the books I needed for class in the way. I lay the contents of my backpack, taking my treasured DSLR out last. After finding the shot in question in the menus, I turned the display towards everyone else so they could see the glamour shot. A freshman made that painting. Just from looking at it, I can see why it won first place. I drew that. Oh. Her name is on it, isn't it? My brain finally makes the connection with the signature on the mural. That was you? Is it that much of a shocker to you? Quite a bit, yeah, it looks amazing. For a moment, Olivia's face lightens up from my words of praise, but it quickly dissipates into a look of fatigue. I mean, it's whatever. Had to have some dumb guide help me out, so it isn't like I was the one who did it. So when you say can't enter, it's because you already won once? Yeah, basically. She looks away from us, eating her chips in silence. I've heard the expression of being one's worst critic, but I'd never expect Olivia to kick herself this hard. I'm mentally kicking myself thrice over just for thinking of that last part. What? Something wrong, Liz? Did she bite her tongue or something? Why is she imitating one of those pitcher plants right now? Liz? What's with the look, long neck?
Just surprised to see you in better spirits is all.
You're making it weird. Don't make it weird. Yeah, it's been ages, Olivia. To think a Randy like Inky here got you to open up like this in just 2 days. He gestures to me. What'd you do, man? The girl in question freezes, Damien's thoughtless comments having thrust her into self-awareness. Oh. And she just leaves. Olivia, wait! She's gone.
Well, she did give us warning.
Yeah. I was just excited she was making good progress. The rest of the lunch we spent trying to talk about Liz's art process. Damien looked like he wanted to try to bring Olivia back into the conversation, wrong one. Maybe right one, I don't know. Had any idea where she had gone. Still, a part of me thinks she wants to talk. So why doesn't she? Because she's afraid. Sadly, a question for another time, as Olivia is the first to gather her things and leave the table. At least Liz and Damien wave goodbye, leaving me to clean up all the trash from the table, including everything I'd removed from my backpack. Darn it! Photography class comes and goes. Since we're partners, Latican gives Ben and I the green light to walk around the campus. Ben shows me around to see his prime photo spot and such, and as such becomes my impromptu tour guide again. It's actually pretty neat to see the parts of the school that I hadn't explored yet until now. Places like the music hall, the recreational pool were most interesting to see. You can probably get a nice shot of the pool. Currently the courtyard, Ben points out the views of the outer landscape around the school. No wonder why Ben was eager to show me. These views are impeccable. But while he's explaining the image he has in his head, my mind still wanders back to Olivia. I wonder what I did to make her express herself so much. Inko? Inko! Huh? I was asking if you'd be able sometime during the weekend to take photos. Oh, I'm free on Saturday. Excellent. We can meet up back here. Sounds good. As we head back to class, I begin to think if there's something I can do in history class. Back in history class, Miss Prockling continues prattling on about, and after a final offensive to the left, the entire city of Triceratops destroyed, the Chthonian hegemony was defeated, bringing an end to their crimes against both dino and humankind. With that, the Dino-Human War came to an end and peace was finally declared after 10 years of strife. Of course, there was a matter of rebuilding and dousing all the fires still burning, as well as what to do with the bodies and... You're not listening. I should probably care more about Prockling's lecture, since history has extremely strong cultural connotations, but man, is it boring! Look, it's only boring because of how she's teaching it. Ahead of me, Olivia has returned to her defeated, sullen, deflated gloom. She's not glaring back at me, so she's probably over whatever that was. Or she still doesn't know I'm here. Boy, will that be entertaining to see. Assuming I don't end up with a mechanical pencil jammed through the lens. The other students are similarly bored, only occasionally marking down something whenever it sounds like it'll be on a review sheet at the end of the week. There is, of course, no more note passing today. Miss Prockling's effusion yesterday must still be on their minds. There won't be any more chances given, and even though she doesn't seem threatening on her own, the consequences should be dire. Especially if she can call Sully over like her own personal enforcer. I'm telling you, I bet you they're married. There's simply no getting around it. This is just a period we all have to sit through. And there isn't even any solidarity to be had in our shared misery. It's simply the reality of high school history class. The only saving grace is that she isn't stalking around the room looking for us to do something wrong. Instead, we're just being lectured at. My hand mechanically copies down whatever she's written on the board. And while I should also be paying attention to what Miss Prockling is saying, I'm more than certain that we'll be reading the exact same things from our heavy textbook. So my eyes wander away from her to the board to scan over my peers, all equally as bored and feigning interest. Eventually, there's a bit of movement ahead of me. What's she up to now? Olivia folds a sheet of notebook paper back and forth, discreetly creating a deep crest. Oh, she's making a paper. Is she making a paper plane? Then she licks her fingers and runs them along the creases and gently pulls. The paper rips along the seams silently. Oh, is she really risking it? What's she even going to gain? It's just a note passing game. Maybe she feels bad because she got caught yesterday? Oh no, okay, I see what she's doing. Oh boy. Olivia passes the note to her left. The student next to her raises an eyebrow but surprisingly takes the note. And immediately passes it on without looking at it. One by one, my classmates pass the note along to the next. Nobody dares open the note and write something in it. I keep track of the note in the corner of my eye as it makes its circuit around the room. Thankfully, Miss Prockling's eyes are focused on the board when I feel a tap on my shoulder. I reach for my ear as if to give a scratch and then the folded page is pushed into my waiting fingers and against my ear. As I feel the edge grind against my earlobes, I chew on my lip to keep the hiss of pain contained. Probably unintentional, but the paper cut still stings bad, especially on such a fleshy part. My fingers toy with the bundle of paper now at my desk. No one else had bothered with it. I wouldn't exactly call it an empty canvas, but there could be potential here. There's a crumpling noise beneath my fingertips. Must have unfolded it while I was thinking. Looking at the sole doodle on the sheet, I see a pretty simple rat drawing with a very realistic hand next to it giving a thumbs up. There's plenty of space for this time. And Miss Prockling is occupied at the front. I doubt she'll even notice. The temptation is there, making my fingers itch at finally getting a real chance to do something fun in this sleep-inducing class. In fact, I have a perfect idea in mind that'd catch Olivia's attention. If that doesn't ruin everything, that is. She's not uncompassionate, but Miss Prockling has a lot less tolerance for horseplay in her class. We probably wouldn't get another chance. And going by Coach Sully's one-chance policy and how these guys aren't even considering playing along, I bet it really wouldn't be pretty. Kind of makes me concerned for Olivia. I could just hold on to the note and give it back after class. Oh, you know what I used to do during my high school classes? We do round-robin stories. We're nerds, my friends and I. Heck, Olivia would never know. I don't think she even knows I'm in this class. What's life without a bit of risk? I wait for Miss Prockling to start a new tangent to make sure I have enough time. She just said something about a single continent movement. Time to move! This is going to be basically a stick figure, but it's just a doodle. If only you could doodle a photograph. I'm not sure what I mean by that. I also don't know how to draw a wheelchair. In the end, it looks more like an abstract depiction of a bow-legged T-Rex than what I wanted. Oops, that'll have to do. I check it over one last time, as if I had to conceptualize to improve it. Ah well. I pass the note forward carefully to not notify the teacher. Olivia takes the note over her shoulder, once more not checking it. She seems to deflate a bit opening the note. Probably because of all the blank space. Doesn't look like she recognizes whatever I did either. Maybe I should talk about it with her after class? I don't know. Seems like an okay thing to do. She just passed the note again. What? Once more, the process of students taking the note and passing it along without looking at it. Although this time it's a little more collectively annoyed. It probably won't go around again. Why the heck would Olivia send the note around again? Nobody's going to change their mind and draw something now. Is it desperation? Thoughtlessness? Whatever it is, the note is coming my way. Once I take it, I confirm that yes, once again, nobody else has wrote anything. However, there is a new doodle of a rat with a flamethrower from Olivia. Cute! Alright, guess this time I'll draw. How about adding myself to the sketch of the half-pipe? This time I just depict myself as a stick figure. No use trying to go outside my skill level for a note-passing game. It's simply enough to do. I even include my glasses. Yeah, I'm liking this. Maybe I should make sure Miss Procklook isn't looking my way. She is looking right at you. Yeah, she's not right now. I'm in luck. Alright, time to pass this on. I pass the note forward once more. Olivia pinches the note between two fingers, still not looking it back. I keep saying that, but I guess it's not weird. Why would you look back in that situation? She checks the note and looks a bit down again. She glances up at the corner I'd drawn in. I nearly fell out of my seat from the sudden loud noise. There's a moment of unwavering silence before a voice speaks up. Miss Halford? The girl in question shrinks in her seat in embarrassment. Sorry, Miss Prockluck, I saw a spider. Miss Prockluck simply sighs, muttering to herself and turning her attention back to writing more notes on the board. She turns her head back slowly, just enough to be able to make eye contact with me. While she eyes me with judging contempt and curiosity, I see her hand is tenderly massaging the tip of her tail. Looking at the floor, I think she's managed to chip up the linoleum. As soon as Prockluck, why do I keep doing that? Prockling turns around and continues teaching, Olivia scribbles something down. She turns to look at me once more, hesitating, then she flicks the note in my direction. It completely misses me. I try to catch it midair, but ends up slamming my face into my desk to get it. Mr. Naito, what is that noise? Mr. Naito, what is that noise? I palm the note in my sleeve and strain to keep my injured eye open. The teacher probably meant the foot stomping. I found the spider, Miss Prockling. The teacher grimaces. That better be cleaned up by the end of class, Mr. Naito. Yes, ma'am. I breathe a sigh of relief. My excuse weathers Miss Prockling's stare. She turns a few pages in the notebook lying on her desk, instructing the class to do the same as she searches for something. She's distracted, so I can finally see what Olivia drew. There's now a surprisingly detailed dodgeball whizzing towards my stick figure's head. I want to be upset, but I find myself admiring her motion lines. Seriously, she should be an animator. I mull over what to add and settle on giving a larger rat sunglasses as well. A few seconds later, he looks twice as cool as before. I look up to Olivia, pondering how to give it back to her when a sinister idea comes to mind. Her hood hangs open as it rests on her back. It's a tough shot, but... Bingo! Olivia scratches the back of her neck and finds the note. She looks back with squinted eyes, judging my intent and scanning me for foul play. She mouths something at me, a question, I think, but I'm not the most apt lip reader, especially when the said lips are thrice as long as a human's. Still, she unfolds the page a second later. She's already added a new sketch and folded it up. The note lands neatly on my desk this time, and I inspect the latest edition. More rats doing decidedly non-rat activities. I wonder what she'd think of a cat this time. We continue passing the sheet back and forth, adding new sketches and adding to others. My fingers are starting to tire when Miss Prockluck addresses Olivia. All right, Miss Halford, you may leave now. Everyone else, you may take the last 5 minutes to start your homework. Olivia takes her time to pack away her supplies, occasionally glancing my way. Gone is the paranoia. It's now just plain confusion. As if I wouldn't play the doodle game thing with her. Even as she wheels out of the room, I notice her eyes still on me. I give her a wave goodbye, and she seems shocked by that, turning her head and finally passing through the doorway. Right then, homework. Aw, crap. It's only now occurs to me that there's a pretty good reason the teacher doesn't want us slacking off during class. For the last 5 minutes, I try to speed read the second chapter in its entirety. Failing to get any good information to use for today's homework, I resolve just to check online for a lecture that's not as boring. Maybe one with some good animation even. When the rest of us are finally excused, I realize that I've still got a page full of doodles. Considering all the stuff on it, I'd feel like a waste to just toss it away. I decide to keep it, slipping it into one of my binders, extra plastic sleeves. With everything safely packed away, I shoulder my backpack and exit the room. Yay! God, I like this demo so far. I will probably redo this from the beginning when the full game comes out, because I do want to actually show the difference between the demo and the full game, And again, this is early design work. I have talked to one of the devs. They're still working hard on the animation and the artwork. So nothing wrong with how it looks right now. Man, now I get why Olivia gets to leave some classes early. The halls are packed and chaotic once the class ends. I always end up being pushed around by rowdy students headed towards their next class. Once the school ends, it's even worse. When I saw it yesterday, it was something else. The word riptide comes to mind. I end up just waiting around for a few minutes for the flow to die down. It's looking like that's just going to be my routine now. I pass by a few more art displays on my way to the stairs back down the first floor. This isn't the art wing, but there's still a bunch displayed up. Maybe there simply isn't enough space? Something presses into my chest and lurches me to stop. Olivia, holding an arm out to stop me. She's still staring up at me, though less suspiciously. Her jaw's open, but no sound comes out. Give me the page. She realizes her hand is still out and retracts it awkwardly, indecisively darting between her hoodie pocket and her armrest. Is she expecting something? Oh, the note maybe? Hey, you could have told me. Huh? That you were in Miss Prockluck's class too. You could have mentioned that. Sorry, guess I was sort of aiming for a bit of dramatic reveal there. She brushes her hair aside. Well, whatever. Later, I guess. Why did you stop me out there? She stops her chair mid-turn with gray eyes contemplating the dirty floor. I don't really get you. Olivia's eyes turn back to me, and now I can see the nervousness in her pupils. Why do you care? Why indeed? Well, I guess the main reason is I want to be friends. With me, though? Sure. Those tiny moments in which I saw the Gator girls hyper-animate come to mind, and I can't help but smile. Those small shows, just genuine feelings. I think Mr. Latican was right, honestly. Olivia hums in disagreement, finally turning away. Ah, crap, maybe that was too forward of me. I swing my backpack around so I can reach inside it. I still have that note. Note? What, with the doodles from class right now? Why? Just figured you'd want it. It was fun filling it out and all. Just as I'm going to admit I still have this stuff from my friends and I all writing during classes. I still have those cringy little notebooks. Just as I'm about to pull out my binder, the Gator girl looks back at me and shakes her head. It's just doodles, you can throw it out. Keep it. If it's so important. For the briefest second, I swore I saw her mouth form a tiny smile. But now she goes back to looking neutrally at... Didn't notice the school had elevators. Why don't more people use it? She flashes the key from her pocket. So it's part of her accommodations. Makes sense. By now the hallway is cleared up a bit. The elevator arrives and Olivia rolls in. She moves her arm to push the button and jams the key into the slot. What's to look for? You coming? Oh! Aw! I slide in beside Olivia just before the door closes. It's probably safe to catch your foot in and just reopen, but man, this thing is ancient. There's an inspection certificate lazily plastered above the door from the side. It's covered in coffee stains and other signs of age. Is this thing really safe? Olivia shrugs. What's the worst that could happen? Our legs break. She eyes me with a smirk. This may have been a mistake. Ka-chunk! My heart drops as the space around me seems to drop for a split second. The sound of the worn-out elevator mechanics fills the cramped space. How slow is this thing? I look over to Olivia. She uses this thing daily. Surely it normally runs smoother. Her mouth hangs slightly open in an amused grin, watching my sudden onset claustrophobia. Relax, dude. This is normal. Alright, this is normal. This thing jostling around just like it's going to drop us at any second is completely normal. When we reach the bottom, the doors clunk open and I practically fall out. Olivia casually rolls from behind. Somehow I sense It's with a degree of superiority. Anyway, see you later. Oh, yeah, see ya. Olivia rounds a corner and I'm left in my lonesome. My senses return to me and I start making my way to the metro station. As I make the journey home, it strikes me how much progress I've made with Olivia. It's definitely still an awkward phase, but I can see that she's opening up a little by little. It's definitely starting to become amusing seeing her get confused by my friendly gestures. All in all, I got a pretty good feeling about this. Liz and Ben sure are overreacting though. I'll be sure to tell them all about it. Alright, so that's where we're going to leave it for now. So we'll continue next time with this demo. Thank you guys very much for joining me, and as I've said before, I'll try to get a guide to the Snoot Snoot game and figure out all the endings. Alright guys, have a fantastic day. Bye!